This looks insane.
This one is 79 pounds.
It's taller than I am. Oh my God. Oh.
The handles are actually hollow. If you unscrew the plugs, you weight it yourself.
He only did 3 of these, and he'll never do them again. This knife here cost $4,200.
You can like literally hot swap, replace the G10. Woo, whoa. Whoa, I love this. This is so nice to see.
Finally, it only took me 10 years, Will, to make an affordable product for you guys.
I'm afraid of this absolutely shattering my fingers, but we're gonna make an attempt here. What's up everybody, and welcome to another video here at Blade Show Atlanta 2025. This video is gonna be a little bit different from what we usually do here. Instead of featuring individual makers and individual videos, we've gone through the entire show and found the most exciting things from each booth, and we're gonna show that to you right now. We've got all sorts of stuff from EPS and Machinewise and JK Design and ACIDWRX and Zippy Balisong and LDY. Come and join us on this exciting journey. We're gonna show you all of the coolest stuff here at Blade Show so that you can get the full experience. Follow me and we're gonna go ahead and dive in and find everything that's cool here at Blade Show Atlanta. See you later. All right, so we are here at LDY with my good friend Will here. So it's the Will and Will show, very exciting.
Yeah.
This is the first time LDY has been at Blade Show, which is super exciting. I mean, this is a crazy spread you guys have brought. If you don't know, LDY is a Chinese company making some of the best knives I've ever seen come out of China, and stuff that is pushing the envelope of what a Balisong can be in the first place. Stuff like the Cygnus really stood out to me. This is something that inspired me to create the Volt Pro back in the day. So the whole thing with the G10 being interwoven into the design, that came from LDY and their incredible design process that creates just some of the most insane stuff I've ever seen. You have a couple things to show me today that are pretty unique, I heard.
So the first thing I want to show is this aluminum Damascus series.
Okay, I was looking at this earlier. I thought that was a laser pattern. That's not a laser pattern.
It's actual layered aluminum.
This looks insane. Normally when you see a handle like this that's made out of aluminum, the layers inside of it are usually laser etched onto there, so it's kind of a fake pattern, but it looks really cool. Whereas this is actually layered Damascus. What layers of aluminum do they use?
So they use 1 series and 6 series aluminum.
So literally the pattern on every handle is gonna be completely unique because it's in the material itself.
Correct.
That's amazing. Obviously you've got it around the outside, but the pattern continues very strongly on the inside.
So the story behind it is that the shop went out to a material show.
Oh, so they discovered this material at like a show specifically for interesting materials.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
So they're like, oh, what is this? Why don't we make something about it? Yeah, so turns out the series is the best option. It's so hard to make it work, and they actually made more than 100 handles. Only 4 turned out nicely. Actually, only 1, because this one is a demo blemished unit.
So 150 handles, and this was the result. That sounds like a nightmare, but the final product is insane. I've never seen anything like this. This is really incredible.
So the other one would be the Damascus Vixen.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I have a Vixen V2 that I was graciously sent by LDY, and I love that thing. I mean, it is genuinely something that I have been surprised as to how much I end up carrying it. It's a heavier Balisong. It's definitely more in the neighborhood of like a classical balance, but I think that's a really good thing. I've been carrying my Vixen V2 far more than I expected when I first got it, but this one has beautiful titanium Damascus. The way that you get these striations throughout it is different than the process for aluminum. So with aluminum, you acid etch it and then you dye it. However, with titanium Damascus like this, the best way to get this really beautiful color pattern is heat. Usually they literally take a blowtorch or some other heating method and heat up the handle. And so you get the different types of titanium reacting to the heat in different ways. And that's where you get this beautiful pattern from. This is gorgeous, man.
You're really knowledgeable.
I've learned a lot over the years, I have.
The Vixen is like the one that we just want to make it the best we can do about a Balisong design. Simple, but at the same time, it has so much going on, right? There are used to be issues that people are concerned with the titanium bites in there and it close the handle gap.
Right.
But actually, someone who bought one of these a year ago came here and compared the handle gap, it's still exactly the same.
Wow.
So there's no issue about it.
That's really impressive. Yeah, I've been flipping mine a lot, and one of the things I was initially worried about is, will the pinsless design actually hold up over time? Because I've been bitten by pinsless before, you know that. And I will say, this has held up extremely well in the same way that like the Orca from JK, right? That thing has a good pinsless design. This thankfully has perfect function. I think there's one last thing though that I would really like to point out that's happening at this booth, which is this absolute monstrosity. I mean, so what's the story here? This is crazy. It's taller than I am.
So the story behind it is just for fun.
Okay, for fun, of course.
We start as a hobby, so we want to carry that, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about the hobby. It's all about the passion into making something that's special, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and to make the best. Well, maybe not the best to flip, but yeah.
That's literally incredible. This is the size of the normal one, and this is it scaled up. I mean, what, 10 times at least?
This one is 79 pounds.
80 pounds?
Yeah, and it's on bushings, actually.
Wait, it's actually on bushing.
Yes.
Oh my God. I can see a stack of washers in there too. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, I'm gonna make an attempt. Oh my God. That is so heavy. That's crazy. How did you get it here?
I actually ship it here.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, the shipping itself is more expensive than the aluminum Balisongs.
So you had to put this together before the show.
Yes, it was a pain to put them together.
This is definitely the first time I've come to Blade Show and found a Balisong that is quite literally taller than I am. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for showing me your wonderful products and all the really cool stuff you guys have been doing. I mean, the stuff that LDY does with both design and material, I think is unmatched in the Balisong industry. It's so cool to see. So thank you so much, Will. I really appreciate it.
Actually, before you go,
Ooh, yeah.
It's always you talking about others.
Yes.
I want to talk something about you.
Oh.
When I started the Balisong journey,
Yeah.
I watched your video.
Really?
Right? When I Google and go on YouTube, it's just Will Hirsch. And I just find your video very attractive. Doesn't matter, it's 10 minutes, it's 30 minutes. I just watch it while I was doing something. It's just feel like you're a treasure to the community.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Will.
And you too, Brendan.
Yep. All right, well, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you. And I'm gonna go search for more treasures around Blade Show. So I'll see y'all in a bit. Thank you. All right, so I'm here at Zippy Balisong with the legend Zippy Crockett himself. Now, you are a maker of a bunch of different mods. I mean, something I've seen that's actually really cool at this show in specific is people have at their booths, hey, if you buy my knife, go check out this booth where you can buy mods for it. That's incredible. You can see a huge selection of 3D printed mods all right here, ready to adapt whatever Balisong you have into a beautiful modded custom piece. This time you have a little bit more going on in terms of what you actually personally created.
I think the first thing I want to show you is my live blade. This is the Parallax.
So this is a fully custom live blade that you've created yourself. Is this the new version of the Zippy Lucha?
Yes, that is the new Zippy Lucha.
Okay, so this is the first time I remember there being a metal live blade on plastic. Was the original Zippy Lucha that Brandon got back in the day.
What I've done is I've consolidated platforms and I've put the Lucha blade on cycloid handles now.
I see.
Which means anyone who buys a cycloid LC, which stands for Lucha compatible, can always upgrade it to a live blade by putting their Lucha blade on their cycloid handles.
So this is where the idea for like a live blade on plastic handles sort of started. Now we've moved on to a fully custom realization of kind of the final form of what this was.
The main upgrade you get with the Parallax is you get grade 5 titanium liners. You have 3 liners. It's a triple liner design, and that adds a lot of rigidity to a traditional sandwich design. The liners are playing Tetris. They lock together like a puzzle.
Cool.
And then you have these hardwareless spacers, which also act as a locking mechanism and keep the whole thing together. So there's a lot going on under the hood here. What I was trying to do designing this is have as little hardware visible as possible. So you can see at the pivots, I've hidden the hardware, and I've also hidden the hardware that locks all the titanium together. Polyurethane spacers are extremely durable and have a little bit of squish to them, so when you drop them, they'll absorb all the shock of the impact.
So that material I really like, because whenever I drop my Wraith, I don't have to worry about it really getting damaged. This absorbs so much of it, and then this barely gets damaged at all. It's crazy.
You did off the roof of a second-story building. I want to see people push that higher and higher.
Ooh, how high can we go?
So I'm going to show you now how you can remove the spacer without unscrewing anything.
Okay.
You'll take the included Allen key, insert it into this hole here. You'll push it through to release the detent.
Okay.
Pull it up. And then you just pull out the spacer.
Whoa!
Now this is the kind of thing you'd want to do if you decide you want to anodize the liners or change the length of the spacer. The spacers are offered in a few different lengths. You can see medium, short, long. And when you want to reassemble the knife, you just push it in, and you're back to flipping.
That's crazy. That's so cool. So you've basically made this where you don't need any screws to hold together the bottom of the knife. That's nuts. That's so cool. The actual design of the Parallax, I love. I really, really enjoy just the tiny highlights you've done. Just the little highlights of color. Looks so good. So what was your inspiration in terms of the blade shape here? This is a relatively unique Tonto.
That Tonto is actually just almost a carbon copy of the cycloid Tonto.
Oh my God.
Adapted to be a metal live blade. So there's a couple of minor differences, mainly to accommodate the weight distribution, the different density between, nylon and tungsten versus S35VN.
I think what's standing out to me about this guy is that while it looks like a plastic knife, it feels like a premium knife because it actually is. This is made out of all of the best materials, and it is incredibly durable, much more than you would think initially from being like, oh yeah, this is plastic. If anything, it's more durable than most other Balisongs. What is this running on in terms of like the pivot system?
That is bearings on race washers.
Really?
So it feels more like bushings. The main difference is you can do like side swing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but unlike normal bearings, which I'm personally not a fan of, it's not a very fast swing.
When I picked this up, I totally thought it was on bushings because it has a completely smooth feel. Like you don't feel that sort of grinding sensation that you feel with some other bearing knives. This has none of that. Well, I really like this thing, but I heard there was something else to show as well.
I am debuting the Bally Quill here at Blade Show.
Oh boy, the Bally Quill.
Yeah, here, take a gander at that.
Oh. Oh my God, the Bally Quill indeed. Oh my God, this is incredible.
It'll actually flip better with the cap on, and you can adjust the position, cap on or off. That'll change the balance.
Okay, yeah, so let me adjust the balance of this knife real quick. It does flip better with the cap on.
I would never lie to you, Will.
Something is rattling around inside of here. What's going on?
That's right. So the Bally Quill has some do-it-yourself DIY elements to it. The handles are actually hollow. If you unscrew the plugs, you weight it yourself. You can put this under the faucet. You can weight it with water.
What?
You can weight it with water, sand, gravel. In this case, I've got some BBs in there. And the reason for that, Will, is the Bally Quill can actually hold a variety of different types of pens. Everyone comes with this plastic Bic pen, but if you wanted to throw your favorite titanium pen on there,
oh my God,
you can. It's got this universal adapter. This is the first hollow Balisong that I'm aware of.
It literally, oh my God, this is insane. It just screws in and the entire handle is hollow. So you just like screw the cap on.
If you do fill it with water, it's not perfectly waterproof.
Okay.
So you'll spray yourself with a refreshing mist as you flip it.
Oh, what a feature.
That's right. It is June in Atlanta.
Yeah, it would be very nice to have a refreshing mist coming from my Balisong. I hate how much I actually like that this kind of flips right now. With the ball bearings in it, it's a very weird experience because the entire Balisong is vibrating the entire time that I'm flipping it. If I put a fountain pen in this, would that be the worst idea I could have? Or the best idea?
I've heard a lot worse.
This has been a wonderful experience. I am very happy about the Baliquill. Thank you so much, Zippy. I really appreciate it. This
Thanks,
is
Will.
always fantastic to get to see you and see whatever you've been cooking up.
Sweet.
I appreciate you.
Thanks
and I'll
for
be on
swinging
my
by.
way. I'll see you later. All right, so now we're at EPS, which last year we had a great video with my good friend Rick here. We got to talk about all of the stuff you guys had. I mean, we deep dove into everything from the G10 Wraith to some of the new stuff you had going on and the TIE Wraith, which blew my mind at the time. But now I've heard you got some new stuff to show me.
This year, we have G10 Wraiths again. It
Yay.
has been 2 years since we brought these.
This is the older one.
That is the older one. This is from the newest run. We do have some differences in it. We've changed up the Zen pins. We went from 156 Zens to hidden 1/8" Zen pins.
I like the hidden Zen pins.
I really do like the look of it. I like it too because now all our blades are interchangeable. So you can swap around and do whatever you want. The new Thai Tanto, if you want to, and you can swap it onto your G10 handles. If that's how you, or what you choose to do, you can do it. And just overall, we've spent a lot of time refining the machining on it, so they're a lot more comfortable. And it just overall, this has been a way better product than what we started off with 3 years ago.
Okay, so then that brings us to the Thai Tanto. Is this new as well?
First time we're debuting it, we're selling the Thai Tantos. This is my favorite Tanto shape you can find. And you know what? Nobody was making it, so I said we're doing it.
I love this. This is so nice to see the return of that beautiful 47 style blade. Like, I really, really love the Diamond Tanto. I think you really, really nailed the styling. It has that look, and I think it really comes across. The Tanto is really nice because it has extra tip weight, which I think is what a lot of flippers really liked about the 47 back in the day. And so that means that it performs a little bit better for stuff like fanning, which holy shit, that fans like a dream. All right, now, there seems to be a new iteration here.
So we showed this one last year.
This blew my mind last year, I remember.
Wow. Wow.
For those of you that don't know, last year, this really blew my mind because it has a continuous G10 design. So you have G10 on one side that then, as one piece, goes around the entire handle and connects. And then the titanium liners aren't liners. They are actually one continuous piece of titanium that is channel. So it's both channel G10 overlaid onto channel titanium.
It doesn't have a name at all anymore because I would like to make this. I could probably be persuaded to make a Wraith version of this, Wraith handle version. As far as like this handle pattern and everything, this won't come to light in this configuration right here.
Okay, so it's going to be changed somehow.
It's going to be changed. So we got big plans for Blade Show 2026. It's going to get its own complete blade. So it won't run on any of the Wraith platform. It's going to get longer handles, longer blade, longer handles.
Whoa.
And we're going to call it Mod X. I can't tell you too much about it yet, but I was playing around with this design and I was really looking at it and I was like, man, this could be something that you could go crazy with. It's going to be modifiable, hopefully exponential.
Oh, I love that.
For me, it's so hard to figure out what to price it as.
Right.
It is full channel Thai, full channel G10.
Yeah.
It's just weird. The Mod X is gonna have a base model, trying to shoot for about $330 on it.
330 is a great price.
But then you're gonna be able to configure it in multiple ways where you can take it from mild to wild and sky's the limit on it.
It can go from mild to wild. I love that.
I hope when people see it, they're gonna be like, that's peak Balisong design.
Ooh.
And that's a big statement. And I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm hoping.
Thank you so much again, Rick. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And let's go see what else we can find. All right, right, here we are at JK Design, which is very exciting. I think we haven't gotten to get some coverage with, wow, I fucked that up so badly. We haven't gotten to get coverage with you in a minute, so I'm very excited about this. You make some of the best quality Balisongs in the business. Your machining quality is legendary, and the Orca is a great example of that. This is maybe the most successful pinsless design that I've seen. I have my Emissary number 8 that I got all the way back in 2017. Very exciting stuff, but I noticed on the inside here it says 10 years.
I had to add a little special engraving because this June, it's actually been 10 years. Started making stuff back in 2015, and now here we are in 2025 in June.
That is insane. I'm glad that you've been with us that long. I was noticing over here you have something that seems pretty new.
Yeah, finally. It only took me 10 years, Will, to make an affordable product for you guys. It's called the Regime, and
love the name.
It's a 7075, channel aluminum.
Ooh. I like this coating, first of all. That stands out to me instantaneously. Is this like Cerakote or something different?
I went in and figured out how to do anodizing on aluminum.
Whoa.
And I made a whole big setup, and it was insane. It's just crazy, and it's working flawlessly, and I'm stoked.
That's so cool. So this is your own aluminum anodizing.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
That's quite the process.
It's gnarly, man. All my t-shirts have holes in them and everything from all the acid.
Yep.
The handles, I'm really proud of being able to make these on a Swiss lathe so that it can put these little...
It's a little glass breaker.
Precipice. There you go, glass breaker.
It's a glass breaker. I'm doing everything I can to not call it a little nipple. I'm sorry. We actually have a video that we made with Machinewise that'll be coming out after this. We talk with their machinist that runs their Swiss lathe about what a Swiss lathe is. And what makes this interesting is that this entire piece of aluminum comes out as a bar. So you have a circular bar that gets pushed out and then held on one end, and then it can be rotated like this. It can be grabbed by another spindle and moved to the other side. And then the tool can come in and either spin itself, or this piece can spin against the tool.
Right.
And what blows my mind is that it has flats now.
Yeah.
So you've had to like extrude it and then have it mill these flat faces.
Yeah, and then it has to have a particular round on here so that the other side can come in and grab it, as you say. You have to design it to be made that way, and I'm really happy to finally be able to do it. That's what is enabling it to be so cheap.
Squid Industries uses the Swiss lathe, and Machinewise uses the Swiss lathe to actually make their hardware, which is a great use for it, but being able to produce an entire handle, that's even better. Oh wow, it's really light.
That's what everybody's saying.
But in like a good way, like an extremely good way. How much does this weigh?
3.4.
3.4, wow. Yeah, that's very light, but it's nice. I feel like I could flip this all day easily and never get tired.
I hope you do, man.
How much does one of these cost?
$2.99.
$2.99, so $300 flat. That's fantastic. There are a lot of aluminum knives that have a sort of feel to them, and that feel somehow feels cheap. This doesn't feel that way. This feels more bougie somehow in a way that's hard to describe.
That's what matters.
But it's the flipping feel. It really is. So very good job with this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so
awesome.
much, Will.
Wonderful seeing you, Julian.
Hell yeah.
And let's go see what else there is to see.
Peace, Brandon.
It's 2080. Ordnance ZZYCX.
All right, so here we are with Paul of ACIDWRX, and you've got some very interesting stuff for me today. For those of you that don't know, Paul runs Shops OA, so you have a bunch of different Balisongs on there. You've created a platform where different people can sell their knives, but on top of that, you've actually designed your own knives. And so we actually have a review on the channel of some of Paul's work, which you can check out right there if you want to, but you've got some new stuff for me today.
Well, first I got the Itzpopalot Aztec Goddess.
Wait, what is the name?
Itzpopalot, it's an Aztec goddess, the obsidian butterfly.
Whoa.
And it's more of a triple edge, so it's sharp here and on the front and on the spine. And cut you all kinds of ways, even though it's square.
If you showed me that name, I would not have been able to pronounce it by looking at it.
Yeah, I wanted to put the name at the tip of the blade. I thought that was unique.
I think that's a really good spot for it. I like really everything that you've created with the ACIDWRX lineup and with the Zyzix in general. I am really, really impressed with how creative you've managed to kind of take your own personality and imbue it into these knives. I mean, actual blade shapes being incredibly creative and incredibly unique, to the unboxing experience, to literally your music being the soundtrack of the world around these Balisongs.
A man in the desert looked towards the sky, guiding his eyes down towards the land. He now called Zyzix.
It's incredible. So I love to see this kind of stuff. What's unique here? I noticed there's kind of a Damascus thing going on.
So FLS, who's a friend of mine who makes Balisongs, does great laser work, and I asked if he would do some laser work. So this is kind of an idea we had of how to make it look.
So cool. I really like the look of it too. It feels really
it's on
nice.
the handles as well, if you notice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow, actually, wow, that's like really intense. That's cool. This is a wild one, flipping wise as well, because you've got a lot of danger zones.
A lot of danger zones. The other one is the Judas.
This one's intimidating.
Yeah, the Judas is very pokey, pointy, sharp. So the idea with this is it's not sharp and the thickness stays all the way to the tip almost. That's to retain some of that balance point up at the tip. I had the whole shape, but then Julian, we needed to take a little weight out of here, changed the look of it a little bit. So then I said, why don't we just make it a collab shape? So this is actually Julian and I working together
Oh, that's so cool.
shape.
I like the pockets. They really add a lot of character to it in a cool way. This one has a very subtle laser pattern that I actually don't know how well we'll be able to get this across on camera, but to the eye, it is like shifting to me. Like as I move it, the pattern literally is moving.
It's called grid line, and it's just so cool with the reflections.
This design is, out of everything, one of the most out there things that I've seen, but it's so cool. I mean, it almost feels like a hypodermic needle in a way.
It's very surgical.
And it's very intimidating. Like that tip is terrifying to me, dude. I can only imagine messing up an aerial with one of these things and having a very upsetting time.
It's really tricky to sharpen and keep that nice.
I bet.
With every knife, you get a power stone.
Oh.
And each power stone has a different power.
Cool.
So it enhances your flipping. So if you hold this in your pocket and you flip this one is for flow and gives you really good movement. The black one is for your instinct and like your intuition to do tricks. Precision, that's the word. And then you got speed over here.
Okay, so that's the fast power stone.
Fast power stone.
I see.
But I imported all these from Zyzix. They're really hard. They traveled all through the galaxy to get here, so they come with the knife now.
That's impressive. All the way from Zyzix.
All the way from Zyzix.
And I could use a little bit of help with my flow, I'm not gonna lie.
We all can.
So, you know, maybe a power stone is what I need.
We mentioned the Zika.
I would love to mention the Zika. This is one that I haven't had a lot of experience with, because I haven't tried these blade shapes, but I've tried the Zyzix plenty. Brandon owns one.
What's cool about this is I've been working with Ceroni for a long time, and this is a collaboration design between me and him. He went back to Italy and machined the prototype. We did 4 different versions of the prototype to get to this. And it's Chanwich with scales and weights.
Yeah, I really like the design of this thing, and flipping it, I immediately can tell this like feels really nice to flip.
I'm really happy with this knife.
I really like the blade shape on here too. It's a very interesting Tonto. Very excited to see this sort of come to fruition in the future. I believe from here we were also going to talk about Ceroni's stuff, which is right next to us.
We can move right along if you like.
Let's jump over there, shall we? All right, here we are at Ceroni. We are here with both Ceroni himself and Paul is going to be sort of helping to translate, because Ceroni is wonderful, but not the best at English, and I understand that. I'm not the best at Italian, so it works out.
There's so many here to pick from that are amazing, but we picked out 2 that we would look at here.
Okay.
We want to start with this. It's the crisp blade shape. If you look at how he does that, that's a groove going in there.
Whoa.
All the way down the center, super beautiful. He only did 3 of these. at all, and he'll never do them again.
Really?
This knife here costs $4,200.
This is an expensive thing for me to be holding, but yeah, Damascus Chris with this beautiful, would you call that a fuller? I don't know what to call that.
Blood groove of some sort.
A blood groove, that's a great way of putting it, all the way down the center line. One of the most gorgeous knives I've ever seen. This is incredible. We're already at a very high point. Where do we go from here?
Okay, then you got this with,
oh my God,
again, Damascus with pearl inlay, and it's the Bally Reaper.
I love the Reaper design. That's really, really,
and the
really
polish
good.
on this is just amazing if you look at that.
This is beautiful Damascus. I mean, the pattern on this Damascus is much smaller than I've seen on a lot of different ones. So I really, really like this. It's almost like a raindrop pattern, but very tiny. And then you have this inlaid abalone all throughout the blade, but there's also abalone inside the pivots. That's crazy to me. This is a gorgeous work of art, sir. Thank you so much. The finish work on these is just gorgeous. The Reaper blade is one of my favorites because it is so unique. I've never seen anybody do something quite this profound and exciting, and it really does have a very visceral reaction when you see it. You're like, oh, that's like scary, but really good at the same time. This is one of the most incredible knives I've ever held. Thank you so much. Thank you. I highly appreciate this. I'm going to put that down before I do anything rash, and I guess we should check out what else there is to see here. So thank you guys so much, and I'll be on my way. All right, here we are at AMKW, Andrew Meyers Knife Works. This is a very exciting table. This is your first time being here at Blade Show vending, correct?
Yes, sir.
Andrew Meyers, for those of you that don't know, makes incredible mods. So this is my Tsunami that I had re-anodized with this beautiful blurple finish. It's been polished and then had some awesome, really subtle laser patterns added to the sides. So this wonderful gentleman did incredible work on this, and now you've created your very own knife.
Yeah, so I mean, this was the first prototype. It was basically a shot in the dark. I had a buddy of mine model it for me, and we were like, screw it, let's get it made. That was the first version. It was really heavy, and obviously handle gap, not my cup of tea.
It is an itty bitty handle gap.
That was a big change we made. And then we went into this. This was the second version. Obviously, blade-wise, I'm a big fan of like a straight blade Wharncliffe.
Yep.
Not a lot of people do it. I didn't want to be too similar to other people. I was already taking a lot of inspiration from other makers, so I was like, might as well try and step, you know, into my own
and
area.
make it like really unique with the blade.
Exactly. So this was the first take on that blade, but you can see we added a lot of jimping.
Yep.
Nobody could complain about the jimping.
No, yeah, it's got plenty of jimping, I can tell you that much.
Yep.
I really like this too because it shows like from the first model to the second model, you already had a pretty good idea here of what you were even going for. This is already a very complete feeling design. So then what's different from that to the final version?
Really, it's only the blades. The handles are almost exactly same. We made some slight tolerance issues fixed, but that was about it. The blade, I basically perfected it the way I liked. The balance, in my opinion, is very good. You still have a good amount of tip weight for it being a straight grind. Handle gap, obviously this has a bigger handle gap. I kind of slimmed it down just a tiny bit. A lot of people don't like big gap, but I hate small gap, so you kind of have to have a good balance.
Some of these have incredible designs going on. I think you've kind of taken the nexus of everything you've learned from all of your mod work and really implemented it in a very impressive way for your production knife. I mean, this is insane. I noticed, so we have this kind of like sheep's foot that you went with, this sort of Wharncliffe. Then you have this one. What's the difference here?
So these are G10 scales. Because they're G10, you lose a lot of weight, which has forced me to make a separate lightweight blade.
Okay, so this blade just weighs less.
Weighs less, a lot less.
Gotcha.
So it's about an ounce difference,
wow,
which is pretty substantial.
When I was watching this come out and watching the development of this knife sort of happen live, I was blown away because every last little choice you made was like, oh, that is so freaking cool. Like the decision to go with a blade that is this dynamic and this unique, I think is something that's really special because not a lot of people have like the guts to go with something that divisive.
Yeah, well, and it was also for like production sake, this is a very easy grind to do.
Are you hand grinding all of the blades?
They are all hand ground.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna give this a try first because I haven't flipped any of these yet, so I'm very excited. Ooh. Oh, wow. So it has the G10 up top on this one and then the titanium down below. I noticed on most of these, it's either full titanium or full G10.
Yeah, so we have extra scales for purchase so that if you purchase this one, you can pick up an extra set. I just didn't want to force upon people to already be locked into a certain configuration.
I like that because this Balisong does, I think as a modder, you've come into this with a very specific sort of perspective. And this Balisong feels very modder friendly. You've got a canvas of different kinds of titanium. You've got these overliners, underliners, you've got all of these different pieces and it's held together very simply. You've got 2 screws up there and then 3 screws down here, right? Like it just makes it easy to take apart, put it back together and do all sorts of cool stuff to it. So I love seeing that sort of design mentality come through in a product like this. Thank you so much. This is freaking awesome.
No problem.
And I'm looking forward to potentially getting one of these in the future and messing around with it.
There's gonna be many to come.
Well, thank you so much, and let's go see what else there is to see. All right, so we're here at Machinewise. If you don't know, Machinewise created Balisongs originally. Machinewise created Balisong.
Yeah, we were the first.
The first Balisong. Machinewise started with Balisongs and made genuinely some of the best in existence in the whole hobby. And then from there, they decided to jump into the folder scene as well and have created what many would argue is one of the best folders out there as well. Very, very cool. And if you don't know, we actually visited Machinewise very recently and have a lot of videos coming out in the near future. I'm very excited. We got to go all through the production process, how they make all these wonderful knives. And out of all the stuff we talked about, I mean, there's so many interesting things. Obviously, there's the Sonora, which is their button lock. I actually have my own Sonora right here. Wow. They also have the Mojave, which is a frame lock. And then they have the Satori and the Sasori, and of course the Serif. Who can forget the Serif? There's some new things here that we didn't get to see while we were visiting. These have happened since we were there, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited to see. Now, Martine, I did notice there seems to be a distinct lack of Dalen in the
I know, there's a
air.
distinct lack of orange beanies.
Yes, there's a lack of orange
Dalen
beanies.
couldn't make it to the show this time. He's really sad he could miss it, but
That's
we're
fair.
sending out all the love to everybody at the show and happy to have the community around, and hopefully he'll make it next time.
Yeah. Love you, Dalen. We miss you. Obviously, you've got the Sonora, but now you've got an inlay version?
Yeah, so the inlay Sonora, the story behind this is much like you will.
Yeah.
Dalen's favorite color is orange.
Great.
And orange is kind of an impossible color on titanium. These aren't orange yet, but you better believe orange inlays are on the way, because Dalen wants an orange Sonora.
Yeah, of course.
So that's really the motivation between this guy. And also, it just has a really different feel to a Sonora. It's more grippy.
Yep.
And it's a cool way to have color. This is also a way for us to introduce moddability into the Sonora. So these are hot swappable.
Oh,
They're
really?
magnetic into the handle. And so we're gonna include a tool with each of these that you can push out the insert with. And then you could either get other inserts from us, or if you want to print your own inserts, I'm gonna make the files public.
Whoa.
So that you could print them, you could buy the magnets from McMaster, and you could put whatever cool insert you want into it.
Whoa, so you can like literally hot swap, replace the G10
Yeah,
with whatever you want.
exactly.
Dude, a wood inlaid Sonora would go
Yeah.
so hard.
So I'm gonna be running around the show later just looking for materials to throw in Sonoras.
There are a lot of really good like
Yeah.
handle blanks and blade materials here.
No, I'm
like
excited.
you can find some crazy stuff. It does a good job of adding that extra grip and that moddability without being too much of anything. What inspired the magnet idea?
We didn't want more face hardware. The Sonora looks so cool because it has just the couple screws.
Yep.
And so to add a bunch of hardware in the face would have been really weird.
Yep.
And then we also wanted to be serviceable, so having a screw inside the handle that you use this little special driver to do it would have been really fiddly.
Yeah.
So magnets made sense.
I think that's really nice. This is super exciting. I'm very excited about the Opus V2. That is
Yeah.
a exciting addition to the collection.
Yeah, so you guys coming out really lit a fire in Dalen. So
Cool.
I remember you guys checked out my Opus.
Yes.
And so this is the diamond texture Opus.
So this is basically the idea of the original Opus. You have this handle pattern and this hole pattern. The diamond texture on here is unique to this specific Opus. This is the only one that has this kind of like serif-like texture. But the idea of the Opus is here. You have these long handles and these cutouts, and then you've got the side cutout as well, and then that blade shape, of course. But there's an update.
There is. So the Opus was originally Dalen's magnum opus.
Right.
Right? And so this is Dalen's new take on the Opus.
So first of all, immediately I'm noticing there's no hole pattern at all. So we've just got this straight sort of flat, but it's got this really nice inlaid texture as well. This reminds me a lot of the Ceroni. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's got that kind of inner pattern, but it is different.
So I like really coarse textures.
Yeah.
Dalen likes smooth textures.
Okay.
Dalen likes to show off his machining. The Opus V2 leans into that of a little bit smoother textures. It's softer in the hand. He likes no hole patterns.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the way that this feels. It's a very subtle texture. It's not too intense. Well, you can see very intricate machining happening on the handles here. And I think it comes across extremely well. I've yet to flip this though. Ooh, whoa, whoa. Oh. Oh, it's different.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So the Opus V2, in our minds, strikes that middle ground between the serif and the Opus V1. The Opus was originally designed to actually replace the serif. For a good reason, the serif still exists.
Yeah.
So the Opus V2 is really that like attempt again of like, no, we're not gonna replace the serif, don't get worried. But this is Dalen saying, well, here's the things I wish were different about the serif. Here are the things I wish were different about the Opus. Let me put it all into this Bali.
The way it flips is very, very good. I actually really like this. It's different than the original Opus, like distinctly so. You can tell that there's a difference, but it feels very nice in the hand. Like, I really like it. Would love to do a review of that at some point. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
We should.
Well, thank you very much for showing us this stuff. I'm super excited, and I'm very excited for the videos that we made together to actually come out.
I am so excited for those too. I can't wait to watch these videos.
They're gonna be really great. I got taken through the whole process. You taught me how the blades were made.
Yeah.
Then I got taught how the handles were made.
And
then
William
I got
taught
to
you how to
actually
anodize.
anodize.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I got to re-anodize my serif. So those videos are gonna be amazing. Make sure you subscribe to check those out. But for now, I wanna say thank you so much, Martin.
Yeah.
This has been fantastic. And let's go find something else cool. All right, we're here at the Maxace booth, and I have something very exciting that I'm going to attempt anything on. I'm afraid of this absolutely shattering my fingers, but we're gonna make an attempt here. First of all, there's like no play, which is crazy because this thing is massive. I'm gonna make an attempt. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Woo. That's the most that I'm gonna try on this thing. I'm not looking for a death sentence today. This weighs, I'd say at least like 6 to 8 pounds, somewhere in there. It's a heavy boy. This is like solid aluminum all the way down. And you can see it's machined like the same way. It looks like it might be thinner than the actual model so it's like thicker this way, but not in this dimension, which is probably for the best, because if it was actually like 1-to-1, it'd probably weigh, what, 20 pounds? This is crazy. Woo. Thank you all so much. All right, I have one last cool thing for you here at Blade Show. If you don't know, the pit is one of the most exciting features of Blade Show in general. Everyone here in the Balisong community comes out to this wonderful space that is provided by the hotel that is connected to the convention center. So everybody comes over here. We have a huge open space that's carpeted so you can drop your knives, and we all just get to hang out. You have different groups of people all just sitting together, hanging out, trading knives. You can buy knives from people. You can experience Balisongs that you can only dream of. It is crazy. I have experienced so much more than I ever thought was possible here. Just yesterday, they actually hosted an entire impromptu competition here in the pit, literally just in a circle. We had a bunch of people circle up, and then we had back and forth competitions where people were battling one another, and we had some judges sitting down, picking left or right, who's gonna win. It was incredible.
Switching to your other weapon is faster than reloading.
I really love the pit. It is one of the core features of the Balisong community and one of the most important things here at Blade Show that really turns us from just a bunch of people that like a thing into genuinely a community. So it is an extremely important feature, and if you ever get to come to Blade Show here in Atlanta, definitely make sure that you stay after the show and come down to the pit, because this is where things really happen. This is genuinely my favorite part of the entire show. I love hanging out with people. I love sitting with my case open and just having people come up and be like, hey, can I try the Tater song? Can I see your Talus song? But that's gonna be it for this video. This is our last video here at Blade Show 2025. Thank you so much for watching, and huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. They are really what makes this all possible. They help support us every single day, even when we take a long time between uploading videos, because they're the most wonderful people, and we love you so much. I love getting to meet everybody here. It's so awesome. So thank you to all of you for supporting us and making this happen, both to our current and previous Patreon supporters. You guys are all incredible. That's pretty much it for this one. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm